This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Shazam!
And Johnny, before we get into everything, like you said Shazam, we have one hell of a show today.
Yeah, we do.
We got, like, I usually say, oh, we got a jam-packed show for you guys.
No,
This is like, I'm pushing in as much as possible, and the lid won't tighten. The lid won't close on our podcast jar.
Well, then give me the jar.
I'm trying to jam so much into this little jar.
Give me the jar. This is my specialty in high school.
I don't want the jar to break, Johnny. I don't want it to break in your Hulk-sized palm.
No, they're just gorilla.
I should say your King Kong-sized palm that you have. But we are looking at everything from, well, not everything from Comic-Con, but the biggest things.
A lot of big stuff.
From Comic-Con this week, we're going to look at the Titans trailer that came out. Talk about that. We're going to look at Shazam. Talk about that. We're going to look at Aquaman.
Oh, that's why I said
Talk about that. We're going to look at Godzilla. Talk about that. We're also going to look at the Venom movie, which is one of the only Marvel things that we got from Comic-Con this year, as the MCU side of things didn't do a Hall H panel. And then we're going to give our thoughts at the end of kind of like other things that we're hyped about, just kind of to end the podcast as a whole. Before we get into everything, though, want to do a little housekeeping here at the beginning of the podcast. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast if you want to help support the channel. And if you join the $10 tier, you could join a Rick and Johnny podcast each month. You are at that tier and talk about whatever you would like to talk about. Also, make sure to check out our store, link down in the description. You can also do that on mostvaluablepodcast.com to get your own MVP t-shirt. You can also go to mostvaluablepodcast.com to catch MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, make sure to check out Apple Podcasts, iTunes. If you have those, go over there, give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. It would really mean the world to us. And type in a little something about why you like listening and watching the podcast each and every week. But Johnny, the one topic that I kind of left off that we're going to start with before we get into all of our Comic-Con stuff is the only big Marvel news. I said, like, oh, Marvel didn't have a Hall H panel.
Well, yeah.
But we did have some big news coming from the Marvel side of things. And this happened, I want to say, Friday night is when there was big wind of this kind of sweeping through the social media world. Disney and Marvel Studios have officially cut ties with screenwriter and director James Gunn. And that's important because not just screenwriter or series writer and director, he's the series writer for Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Everything Guardians was James Gunn. And the decision was made shortly after older tweets from the filmmaker's now deleted Twitter account where he joked about sensitive topics like pedophilia and rape were brought to light in an article published by right-wing political news site The Daily Caller. Is that it? Conservative commentators like Jack, I'm not pronouncing his last name because I'm probably going to screw it up, Posesbiec, who works for the conservative cable television channel One American News Network, then joined the call for Gunn to be fired. So the thing I want to ask you, Johnny, is first off, before we get into what this means for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, because James Gunn isn't going to be working on it anymore, what were kind of your first thoughts when you heard Disney and Marvel Studios cutting ties with James Gunn because of these tweets?
Well, first thing I thought, because after that I looked into what the tweets were. I was like, well, that sucks because I mean, the one thing, it's like a not a catch-22 either way, it's like both.
Are you thinking it's like a double-edged sword?
Kind of, but both parties are wrong in some sense. Like not Disney necessarily; they're just covering themselves. And that's what any business would do. I mean, it still sucks, but Disney's doing what it needs to do for its business. James Gunn's wrong in the sense of the things he joked about and where he joked about them. You want to do that in your friends group? Go right ahead. Because guess what?
No one's going to see it.
No one's going to see it. No one's going to, like, really be able to get offended by it. And if your friends do, they're going to let it go. Now, you do that on social media, that's a whole nother avenue, and that's a terrible place to do it. On the other side, shame on, what's his name? Jack Posobiec?
Yeah, he's the one that tweeted...
For bringing that into the... I get...
What I'm looking at right now is he's the one that tweeted out a kind of compilation of all these tweets and just said hashtag walk away.
Yeah, no. Shame on him for that because... Just because James Gunn, from another article I read, he does political satire and he's anti-Trump. That's his opinion. But get a man fired for that? And you're not just screwing over him, you're screwing over all the Marvel fans out there because he was the one that made the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies what they were. I mean, at least when it comes to the directing and writing sense.
Here's what I was kind of thinking of it. And
I want to say, I don't condone his jokes, like what they were.
Oh, they're horrible.
They're horrible.
They're horrible.
And I get some people joke around like that. That was like 90s humor in a sense. You can go in that avenue and be fine, but this is the 2000s, different day and age. And
to kind of clarify on that before someone jumps down your throat.
Go ahead.
What you mean of that, because me and you were talking about this before the podcast, and this goes into a separate conversation that like
we'll have to do
we could have
time.
on like a Patreon podcast or something, because it really doesn't just specific to our world. Is you'll hear comedians now be like, yeah, man, back in the day, it was a lot easier to joke about things because they were jokes and people wouldn't get so uptight about things.
I'm going to say it the other way. People don't get as butt hurt. Well, let's
put it this way. Comedy, in a sense, and this is every single comedian
it's a fine line.
I've heard talked about it. Most comedy for comedians comes from a dark place.
Yeah.
Like most comedians talk about their backstory. It's like, holy crap, that is a dark backstory. But they find humor in that, and then that's where they start to make their comedic career. Now, with these tweets, here's the only problem I have with them firing him now. I don't have a problem if they were like, you know what? These tweets do not stand for what we believe as a company. We are going to fire you. However, the thing I am upset with is, when did the first Guardians movie come out? Do you know that off the top of your head?
No, I know it's early mid-2000s.
I'm going to look it up really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that movie came out in 2014.
That's what I was going to say. It's like the early 20s.
Perfect. You want to know why? All of these tweets were 3 to 5 years before this movie was made. So to me, the only problem I have with it is on the side of Disney and Marvel Studios is, so the tweets weren't a problem when you hired them then, but magically now they're a problem?
Yeah, no, that's one of the points I was going to make.
This.
That's the biggest problem I have. That's one of the points I was going to make earlier.
Like, are the tweets horrible? Yes.
Yeah,
but the
absolutely.
fact that you hired this guy and James Gunn to be the director of Guardians, didn't hold it against him then magically 4 years down the line, you're going to hold it against him. That's what I have a problem with.
That's one of the points I was going to make. Honestly, he even put out and you know what? James Gunn, you still are in the wrong for making those jokes on social media. It was a horrible idea. It was a horrible thing to talk about, especially the topics you picked to joke about. But the fact that Disney didn't have a problem with it, and it was, like you said, 3 to 5 years before they hired him.
2014
it wasn't a problem
when the movie came out.
It wasn't a problem until it was brought into the limelight. Okay, well then that's an issue on your part, Disney, for hiring him in the first place, if that's the case. And it's, like I said, it sucks for everyone, except for apparently Jack Posobiec, who I'm going to keep mentioning his name because I feel like...
you don't like him.
I don't like... Well, he's a dick because, okay, let's drag this in the limelight just because he's an anti-Trump and he's a... That comes into the... I mean, you can say what you want about people. There's always going to be repercussions. But at the same time, you drag this out before and even said, didn't you say he was pushing for him to be fired?
Yeah, a little bit. That's what the hashtag walk away.
Yeah.
Like walk away from him. Also, I'm seeing an article. This is from Entertainment Weekly. 50,000 people have signed a petition for Disney to rehire him.
Yes.
For Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, hell yes.
Because here's the thing I kind of want to go into is if James Gunn is fired and doesn't come back to Guardians 3, what does it mean for the movie?
It's not going to have the same feelings that it did because you can't...
Because he was the sole, like, if you had a question about Guardians, you go to James Gunn.
Yeah, well, he was the one that tweeted about everything for it.
And that's what I liked about him, is you could tweet at him, hey, man, we'd love to see this. And he goes, don't get your hopes up. We're not planning that.
Yeah, or like, hey...
don't expect, I almost said Magneto, not Magneto. Don't expect Galactus at the end of Guardians 3, because I even planned that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He would, like... tweet about the movie. I mean, he's even the one I believe that came out with the what Groot's final I am Groot
exactly
meant.
That
it wasn't the Russo brothers that came out and said it. It was James Gunn,
and he also came out with the fact of like, oh, this baby Groot is not the same Groot.
Yeah, he's the one that's been explaining all this to us, so we have more of an in-depth idea of what this all means.
I'm not hyped. Like I told you before we recorded this podcast that if James Gunn does not get rehired, and of course, before I see the movie, I can say whatever I want, and after the movie, I can be proven wrong, because it's kind of like, I wonder if Guardians 3, I honestly wonder if we'll see any Justice League stuff happen with it.
I hope not.
No. I'm saying just the fact of, that was a movie. You had someone writing and directing it, and then someone else comes in. Nope, not going to do that. Not going to, and they start changing crap.
Yeah,
is it going to change the movie of what it originally was supposed to be and how it relates to the other ones? I told you with my prediction with James Gunn not on it anymore. Guardians 2 is going to be the best Guardians movie. Guardians 1 will be number 2. Guardians 3 is going to be the worst Guardians movie we see.
Here's the thing I say with that. You can probably get someone to do as close to James Gunn as they can probably feel. It's not going to be the same. Yeah. The only other one that I can say could probably save it in a sense like that is if you get Taika. I was going to say Taika Waititi.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
he did Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, he's got the comedic
So
background.
He's got that background, and like I loved Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, best Thor movie there is.
Dude, I watched it again.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Like that and Infinity War are 1-2 on my list. I think Infinity War is number 1. But
I think so far.
Those two are 1-2 on my list. Spider-Man's number 3.
Oh, wow. Spider-Man got pushed down to 3.
Well, Spider-Man was number 1.
He was number 1. He got pushed down to 3 already.
Yeah, I mean, Thor Ragnarok was good.
Yeah.
And rewatching, I'm like,
Thor Ragnarok was great.
I'm having a great time watching this, just laughing at everything.
But no, I mean, I feel like if they get Taika Waititi, he could save it. He's going to have his own flair. It's going to have a...
I didn't think of Wahiti.
Wahiti? Is that how I pronounce it?
Taika Wahiti?
I messed up. I'm sorry.
Whatever. I mean, Wahiti... One of us.
I apologize for mispronouncing your name if you end up watching this.
It's probably Watiti. I think you're right. I think I'm wrong.
But I mean, he could save it. But
I
otherwise,
didn't even think of him though. If they don't go with him though, what do you go with?
What are you gonna do? And I know he said he did bad things. But also unlike a lot of people, he actually put out a 4-part apology / explanation. And I'm saying it's apology because it wasn't, I'm sorry for doing this. I didn't think it through type thing, but I did it because of my humor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's an explanation. Sort of, some people may say it as an excuse. But at least he apologized for it, for one. 2, again, I'm not a fan of people like, I'm done saying his name. People pulling names like Jack, thank you. I already knew it. I just was people like Jack pulling old things out into the spotlight to make an issue. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I think it's stupid. People change over the years.
Well, I'm gonna throw
let me finish real quick.
Ahead.
So this was 3 to 5 years we stated before Guardians. He got hired as a director for Disney. In that time, that 3 to 5 years. Even after that, I haven't checked his tweets anytime after that. People change.
Nothing has come up, and that's another thing.
Maybe that's why he stopped doing those tweets if he hasn't tweeted like that.
And that's the most important thing is it has been almost 10 years since those tweets. If you go from the earliest one, 2009, it's like 9 years, but I'll round up to 10. people change over time.
Exactly.
Like, what is he doing?
He may regret
recently?
saying that.
I'm going to relate this to, I know you probably haven't heard anything about it because you're not a sports guy.
No, I'm not.
But it's like
Right.
there's a pitcher for the have you heard about this? What was going on with the one Brewers pitcher?
Probably not.
So Josh Hader is a 24-year-old pitcher on the Brewers. He was in the All-Star game this past Tuesday. During the All-Star game on Tuesday, people started on social media digging up and finding old racist tweets that he had said when he was, let's say, what was it, 7 years? He was 17 at the time. So it was about, 7 years ago that he made these tweets. And part of me with that story is like, all right, the tweets are horrible. But at the same time, if you went back to, thank God I didn't have a Twitter in high school.
Yeah.
Because in high school, you think everything is the funniest thing and that, like,
oh, God,
everything that you say is, like, gold and this is hilarious.
Thank God Twitter wasn't a thing in high school for us.
Unless you've got friends like I did that would shoot that shit down and keep you in check. They'd knock you down a peg so that you don't get too high for yourself. That was the one thing I loved in high school. My friend group, we did that for each other. Got to knock them down a peg. Got to make sure they're not too high for their britches.
We didn't mind joking around on certain topics in our friend group.
Yeah.
But if you're out in public, we knew better than to say certain things. We don't make those jokes.
I'll be completely honest. None of them are this bad.
Oh, no, they're not this bad.
None of them are this bad, but, like, I will get the reminders from Facebook, like, hey, remember when you said this? Like, the memory thing?
Yeah.
And, like, this is college, Ricky, like sophomore, freshman in college, Ricky. I tell people, I look at that stuff, and I just want a time machine to go back in time. Just go to my younger self. Hey, Ricky, what's up? Just punch myself in the face. Just punch myself in the face because it's like, what? Did I really think this was funny? And no one called me out for this?
Let's put it this way. We graduated 10 years ago. The shit that I thought would be prevalent in my life back then is not now. I actually, so in our senior year of high school, our teacher had us make a little time capsule with like a written thing of what we think is going to be our life in 10 years from now. I look at it like, well, I did half of one of those. The rest of this dropped out. I'll just be honest and I'll just state a little bit of my background. I used to be a music major for my first 3 years of college, and then I just dropped out of that. And that's what one of the big ones on there was music major.
I'm trying to see if I can find.
I mean, that's a huge thing. That was like all of high school was wrapped around that. A chunk of grade school was wrapped around me being in music. I haven't touched my instrument in like a year.
All right, so
if not more. And it's only because someone asked me to play for their band.
Well, that's like for me too. I used to teach music. I haven't touched mine in forever.
Yeah.
Like what? It's got to be like 4 or 5 years since I've touched those instruments.
Yeah.
And they're just in my basement collecting dust.
No,
and I spent
back in my closet.
You spent thousands on those instruments, like the high end ones that I did.
Thousands.
My clarinet was like $1,500, and my saxophone.
See, I never
was
got an
around
expensive
the same
one like
thing.
that.
Well, I went more into this music major thing than you did.
Well, a little bit.
I was hoping that I could find old Facebook things for mine, but the ones from today are not that bad. 8 years ago today, I put, so it's official, I'm going to bring the word Coolio back. I thought I was so cool for that. And then the second one was...
I think it was already a thing then, Ricky.
And then 9 years ago, I said, wow, ... the Taco Bell dog died, ...
Oh, that's sad.
That was one of the 9 years ago today, I found out the Taco Bell dog died. But last thing I wanted to bring up with this was basically, there's an article here that I'm looking at from independent.co.uk, and they kind of list some stuff that the actors from Guardians have said about this James Gunn thing. Yeah. Because my last thought was Sean Gunn.
Oh, yeah.
If you are Sean Gunn,
right?
What do you do? Do you stay in the movie? Because technically, he's at the end of Guardians 2, spoilers if you haven't seen it, he's got Yondu's arrow
and the
fin. He's trying to work on it. So obviously, we thought he'd be in Guardians 3. My first thought was him is, do you be like, fuck this, I got to stand up for my own kin, I'm leaving this. But like, I think Dave Bautista put it perfectly. He defended Gunn by saying, he's made mistakes. We all have. Now, the difference between the Hader and Gunn situations, the Hader one being that baseball player I brought up, Hader was 17 when he made those tweets. James Gunn was 41. So, like, there's that, too, where it's like, dude, as a 41-year-old guy, you should kind of know that people aren't going to like this too much. But at the same time, there was also, it was a different time. And I don't want that to seem like I'm just dismissing it. He was also 41. So you can't play the card of like, he was just a high schooler.
No,
he didn't know
exactly. And I
better.
get that. He should have known better at the time. And that's the thing. Like you and I stated, he should have known better. So shame on him for that. At least he acknowledged that he said something wrong. And I mean, after the fact, you apologize for it. But still, he acknowledged that he said something wrong. But I mean, how many people have said something they regret from 3, 5, 7 years ago?
If it was a year or two ago, it'd be way different.
No, it would. It's like you're already part of Guardians of the Galaxy. You're already part of Disney. Yeah. Then you said this shit. That's deplorable.
10 years ago, let's see, 2009. What was James Gunn working on? 2010. He was a writer for Super. Remember that movie that we watched?
The TV
Dwight,
series?
No, Super.
Super.
With Dwight from The Office.
Yeah.
How messed up that was.
Yeah.
He was a writer for that.
No wonder.
So now you know where his humor comes from a little bit.
That was
also
pretty fucking dark.
He was also a writer for Movie 43, which was kind of a raunchy movie in itself. And I'm not saying that to defend his tweets. I'm just saying that when you hired him, you kind of knew what you were getting humor-wise.
You already knew that
obviously
was
why
out there.
you hired him, because he's a funny guy and
so,
he can help you.
I'm not a fan of Disney firing him for that reason.
Well, and it also becomes a question of these companies having to save face.
Yeah.
Because it's, do we fire him or do we risk the,
Backlash?
People not coming to our movies? I feel like Marvel fans will come no matter what. There'll be a few that drop off, I think.
But you're the ratio of that to Marvel fans that'll go. A lot of people will end up letting it go because, again, if they have a mentality like you and I do, that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and just to say,
people change. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not defending what he said. I'm defending like more of the idea of you're firing him way after the fact.
I almost would be, and I'm not going to get into this because I'm not a legal guy, but I said it to Dave before. Dave, I was confused. Dave, I was sorry. I was confused. Dave, I didn't realize it was James Gunn. I thought it was someone who worked with James Gunn on it. Here's what Sean Gunn had to say. I hope it goes without saying that I love and support my brother James, and I'm quite proud of how kind and generous and compassionate he is with the people in his life, whether they are friends, family, colleagues, fans, or strangers. Then in 2 tweets, I guess he had a series of 10, but in this article they only list these 2. Number 9. So I guess my hope is that fans continue to watch and appreciate the Guardians movies, not despite the fact that the filmmaker used to be kind of a jackass, but because of it. They are, after all, movies about discovering your best self. And then number 10, he said, working on those movies made my brother a better person, and they made me one too. I'm proud of that. Peace. The only one that I've seen not comment on this, you want to guess who it is? Chris Pratt. He's one of the only ones, I believe, not to comment. They have in this article, fellow Guardians actor Chris Pratt has yet to respond, deciding not to comment during an appearance at Comic-Con supporting the Lego Movie 2. So I will ask you this, Johnny, just kind of put this all on a bow before we get into our Comic-Con stuff. Any final thoughts on the James Gunn firing by Disney and Marvel Studios?
It's just all a shame.
Do you think the petition gets him back? Do you think if enough people sign a petition,
I would
Disney
hope
might
so.
sign him back?
Disney might sign him back. Just like if you see it, there's enough people out there.
50,000 right now.
Yeah, it's 50, I mean, if you got into the millions, I have an idea that Disney might start thinking about it again. It's like, okay, you got this many people already following, saying, okay, yeah, they want him back. Maybe we should hire him back and just see if how bad the flack really gets. Or even Disney could just say, an article can be put out that Disney thinking about hiring him back, see what the backlash would be.
So here's the last thing I'm going to say. Patton Oswalt got into it as well.
Yeah.
And he said, this is one of the less disgusting tweets from Mike Cernowitz, the dude who's after running a Gamergate-style smear campaign, just got James Gunn fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Okay, have a good weekend. And I'm going to let you guys look that tweet up because I'm not going to say that tweet because it's not really a good tweet. You could look up Mike Cernowitz and probably find that and look Patton Oswalt as well because he tweeted it out. But this is where you guys come in. Obviously, this is a conversation. It's not just me and Johnny talking
we
to
want
ourselves.
to know your opinions.
We are talking to you guys too, talking alongside with you guys. So this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. But Johnny, now we are moving on into our official Comic-Con coverage for the Rick and Johnny podcast.
I thought you were supposed to do one of these.
Yeah, we're officially moving on into our Comic-Con coverage.
I want you to make
for RNJ News. My name's Ricky Widmer. The RNJN, the Rick and Johnny News Network, NN News Network.
I need you to make Comic-Con great again.
I think this Comic-Con was pretty good.
No, I think so too.
The only thing that was kind of was Marvel didn't do a Hall H. But
yeah, well,
I'm gonna get to
some shit going on.
I'm gonna get.
If you look in the other the podcast we did before this,
I'm gonna get to that in the Venom part of this. But basically, we're going through a bunch of trailers. The first one we're gonna start with is probably my favorite, almost second favorite trailer of the weekend. Like one of my favorite trailers, almost second. We're gonna get to the one that almost stole the heart of this one, but we are looking at Titans to start. How we do this is we watch the trailers with you guys. So we're gonna go ahead, watch the Titans trailer with you guys, react to it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Did you just break the headphones?
No, I just
Did you just bust the headphones?
I dismantled them.
But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have probably watched... So this trailer posted on the 19th. It is now the 22nd as we are recording this. And I have watched this trailer probably a million gajillion times. You got your headset? Do you want me to... just give you this one?
No, I'm good.
Just use this one. I already unplugged it.
Put it back in.
All right. You can hear your trailer good enough? For our audio listeners, Johnny Hulk moded his headset.
On accident.
And completely destroyed his headset.
I just dismantled it.
Well, we're going to go ahead and watch the Titans trailer.
It still works.
With you guys. Are you ready for this, Johnny? Are you ready?
Yeah, see, I got it to work.
All right. 3.
It's all connected.
2,
and
1, go. Forgot they put the TVMA thing in front of it.
Oh, I missed that music the first time.
Yeah, this music's gonna get stuck in your head, by the way.
No, I'm talking about that.
I've had this song stuck in my head all week. Got a hunger inside. This is probably my favorite scene of the whole trailer.
Please.
Kind of intense.
Also, Dave ruined this for me. He said that the guy playing Robin looks kind of like the kid who plays Bruce Wayne in Gotham.
Yeah! There's something evil inside of me.
You're scared. I get it. But you can't.
You know what's the thing I love most about this? How dark it is.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've become.
Oh, I can't wait.
Sometimes, when I feel the darkness, it feels good. My mom says there's no such thing as monsters.
I used to think that.
Oh. All right. So we got a ton of stuff to look at with this one. The first thing I want to look at, Johnny, is I will ask you, do you want to look at, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to ask you. We're just going to look at it anyways.
Okay, fine.
I'm going to jump right to it. The thing that got me the most hyped in this trailer was seeing Robin basically like them go, oh, where's Batman? He's like, pull, stab you in the neck, shoot, 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 step, and like you said, kind of put some force into that step and go, fuck Batman. That is awesome, and it leads
because he
to,
starts off with the cape flutter, like
like
Batman's coming, and then he just drops down
than
a lot quicker. He just drops down, just bam, and goes right to it.
And the thing I love most is that line he had at the end of basically she goes, well, yeah, my mom always said that like monsters never existed, and he just goes, yeah, I used to think the same thing. I was wrong. So for me, the thing I cannot wait most about this series is to see those flashbacks we're going to get with Robin thinking back about Batman and his time with Batman.
I just wonder how far this monsters don't exist go, because maybe it's like before his parents were murdered. I didn't think that, and all of a sudden someone murdered his parents, and that's what got the monster thing started. And then Batman didn't help with it either, with not trusting him, not putting basically Batman being Batman. He's not a fan of who Batman is as a person.
And that's kind of the thing with the whole Dick Grayson Robin was Batman, I believe, hid stuff from Robin about his parents' death. It's also a fact of like Robin never felt, well, Dick Grayson, I should say, always felt like A, Batman never trusted him, and B, only cared about himself. Because like I think back to the animated series from like the 90s, where when Dick Grayson walks away, he gets mad. Like Barbara's like, no, don't worry, I wanted to do it, and he goes, no, you think you wanted to do it. That's what he does. That's how he works. He makes you think you want to do it, but really he's making you do it. And that's the scene where he like rips off the mask, throws it down, takes the cape off, and walks away. The thing that is interesting too is in that workshop, do you think he's working on the Nightwing the Nightwing costume? Like he doesn't know it's going to be Nightwing, but his new armor?
I think so, because if you look at it, it looks like his Robin suit's kind of like, oh, it's a little too small for you now.
Yeah.
You're kind of starting to outgrow it a little bit because you probably haven't worn it in a while. Because like the mask is a little small on his face, and the rest of it looks like it's like it makes you look a little
buff because it's so tight.
Yeah, or something like that. It makes you look a little off because like maybe it's not fitting you quite the way it should anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe you need maybe he's thinking I need a different look, but I'm going to use this for the moment.
What do you think is going to be his arc through this? Like beginning to end. What do you think? Because obviously he gets to Nightwing and then the Titans are formed, but how do you think this is going to play over the series?
Maybe he kind of pulls the Titans together in a sense and then kind of does like, I was only here to bring you guys together. Now I'm doing my own thing. Goes off to the Nightwing thing.
I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like that?
I would not. Like Dick Grayson's Robin, not Robin, but like he could be Grayson. He could be Nightwing. Dick Grayson has to be the leader of this Titans team when they form, because that's who they look up to. That's the leader they look to. And the thing I'm interested to see is how the Titans come together, because in this trailer, the only two kind of stories that we get are we get a look into Robin's, which he hates Batman, obviously, and he's just like, even when he says, he goes, you don't want to know the things that I've done. You don't want to know the things that I've done. Also with Raven's story, I'll bring her up into it. I love what, like, I know this is just a little snapshot of it. I love what they're doing with Raven. Absolutely. Like, she looks amazing when she's got, like, at the end of the trailer, when it was like all big black eyes and like, oh, she screams out. I can't obviously go that high, but like that I loved. Even when she's standing there with like her arms out and you can tell she's like kind of learning these powers that she has no knowledge of
the
yet.
Part of the trailer where she goes, there's something evil inside me. And
yeah.
And like tackles the guy into the wall. That was pretty cool to see that part.
But then when she says, it kind of feels good. Like that's going to be something of learning to control it, because also you got to think of it this way, because we're going to get to Trigon at the end of the series. Trigon kind of uses her as a conduit to go into basically as a doorway to come into our universe, our world, in order to take it over. Hawk and Dove, I like how they didn't give us too much of Hawk and Dove. Like Hawk, the only thing we saw of him is he gets hit in the back and it's him like screaming out. We get to see a little bit of Dove where she like with her cape, she just slices it up. And that's the thing I love most about this series. I don't know about you. It's going to be mature and it's going to be dark. It's going to be gritty. There's going to be blood. There's going to be swearing. This is what I want from a TV series. I don't want, like, I'm not a kid anymore, Johnny. I will watch the cartoons on the DC universe, but for this series, I want it to speak to my older self, and I want them to show me things that we won't see on the CW.
I want to point out, too, with Raven, I really like the special effects with her so far, that instead of being like the Green Lantern where it's like, and like it's just a form right there, it's like flowing. It's black flowing. It's like water.
Like, especially when she's sitting there, how it like flows on the wall.
It's like flowing up the wall. I love how they did that instead of making it like just almost like in the cartoon where it's controlled. It's all like just in one shape. Like almost not even like flowing shape. It's like blocky, square. Yeah, exactly. I like that they're not doing it like blocky. It's just black, watery. And again, the best word I can keep using is flowing.
Probably the only thing that I've seen people upset with this trailer, besides like to me the ones that don't know DC, like I've seen people that are like, why would Dick Grayson ever say fuck Batman? Well, if you know Dick Grayson, you know he hates Batman when he walks away from the Robin mantle. The interesting thing too is this is taking place in Gotham. We find out it's not Bloodhaven.
Oh wow,
it's in Gotham because you see like some of the taxis in this say Gotham on it, so you know he's operating still in Gotham. Just not with Batman.
Yeah.
The only thing, the consensus that people don't like about this still, I'm going to let you vent about it because you've even brought it up. Talk about Starfire a little bit. What do you think about Starfire after this trailer? Have they convinced you onto the side of they might do good things with her?
I mean, the glowing's really cool. The power looks really cool. It looks fire-ish, but it's not like... It's not like over the top. And I know it's small. It's a small gripe, so it's not that big a deal in a sense, but I just don't like how her hair's curled. I know it's a stupid thing to bring up, but I'm used to a Starfire where she's got longer hair. It's not like curled tight like that, and that's what I've always thought of. And I just that's the one thing I would gripe about is I don't like her hair.
Here's my thought with it. And I want to just throw this out, see how it lands. I know she's an alien. Well, the character is technically an alien. And if you say that, oh, well, with an alien, then you can do whatever you want because technically it's not a human.
Yeah.
But do you think the reason they went with the curly hair is that, okay, not saying that they can't go with straight hair here, but that the directors and the kind of design was basically, hey, we're going to cast an African-American actress to play her. Let's have the hairstyle match a little bit. Maybe they did try the straight hair and it didn't look right, so then they went with the curly hair.
It didn't look right to them. I think it would have looked fine because I mean it's not like that's the only hairstyle.
We also don't know if this is going to be the final product of
Maybe
Starfire.
That's just in the beginning. Maybe eventually it will get back to like the more because the Starfire we know better.
Because here's another thing I'm going to throw out there that I wouldn't be surprised about. Maybe Starfire changes her appearance because you notice how she's wearing like the mink coat kind of thing. Maybe she changed her hair, put on the mink coat to where it's like because her storyline, her origin story is her race of people. Starfire is the next in line. It's kind of like an Aquaman thing going on, but not the half-brother thing where she's the next in line. Her sister wants to kill her so that she'll be the next in line, so that she could be the queen of their entire race. Well, maybe this is just Starfire, hey, I got to do something so I don't look like myself.
True.
So my sister can't find me. Like, That's the thing I love about trailers. And I do it too. I'm not saying like I'm immune to it and I'm going to sit up here on my high horse, but we react to these trailers. And sometimes it's like, yup, don't like that. And then you watch it and you go, oh, okay. So it wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah, and
you weren't even like that for the whole movie.
I'm not saying like it's gonna be a make or break. It's just like like I said, it's a small gripe. It's not that big a deal. I just don't like it. I don't like aesthetically how it looks. So. And
I know we only saw like not even 2 seconds of him.
Beast Boy.
I love how he looks. He looks just like the comics.
Yeah, no,
he looks
definitely.
just like the comics, even with his
the red and white
traditional red and white jacket. My only worry for Beast Boy, is they have to make him comical. He has to be the.
Hopefully, he is.
He's got to be more like the Beast Boy we remember from the comics and from the TV series. But look-wise,
as of now,
he looks spot on.
Hopefully they do, because you're going to need some form of comic relief, and that's usually filled by Beast Boy.
No, and Hawk and Dove aren't going to do that, because how those characters are set up is Hawk is kind of like I'm going to describe him as a rage maniac.
Yeah.
Where he's just rageful, and Dove is kind of like the yin to his yang, that I'm going to calm you down, and she's got more of that cloak that she uses as like a shield and a weapon at times. Anything you think we missed, anything that you think we need to hit before to move on into, we're just going to go straight through the DC trailer. So the next DC trailer on our chopping block. Do you got any final thoughts for Titans?
No, I think we hit everything.
Here's the last question I want to ask you. And this is one that just popped into my head that I forgot.
Okay.
This is more of the streaming service thing.
Okay.
We got a price point finally.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, I want to say, the monthly charge, I'm going to look up really quickly. But if you pre-order the DC Universe, the pre-order, so it's $7.99 a month. So about $8 a month. If you pre-order it this weekend as we're recording it, like you're not going to hear this until after, it's $75 for the year. However, if you pre-order it, you get thrown into a drawing to possibly get 2 free Aquaman tickets.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, $8 a month, $75 for the year. Is that a good first price point for the DC Universe streaming service?
It's decent. It's about the same as Netflix.
Is it? Didn't Netflix go up to like $10?
They might be, like I said, about the same. If you want an exact same, last time I checked my Hulu account, that's what it was.
What, $8?
Yeah, about $8. So,
let me see. Netflix plans. Let me see. Yeah, the basic
Netflix is like $10-11.
Yeah, the basic Netflix plan is $7.99.
Yeah.
The standard plan, which would give you HD, is $11 now.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's like a basic Netflix plan. So I mean, not too bad.
And then premium. Don't get me started on premium. That's up to
premium.
$14. Well, the thing that Netflix also does is screens you can watch at the same time. If it's just you and you don't care about HD, all right, give me that basic. But if you want HD, all right, I got to pay for the standard plan. If you have more than one person, if you have at least 2 people, okay, I got to get the standard so that both of us can watch it at the same time. I think
with standard, you can have like 2 or 3 watching at the same time.
And then premium is 4.
Yeah.
So the monthly is right on par, but I wonder how many people pre-order, because they did say that if you do pre-order,
you get 2 tickets to Aquaman.
Not just that.
Oh.
It's a chance to get 2 free tickets to Aquaman.
I bet a chance to.
The other part is the total price, because that's an annual charge, is it's 20%. You'd save 20% for doing that rather than doing the monthly charge. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think of the Titans trailer? Are you hyped for it? What are you not hyped for? What are you thinking about this? Let us know everything down below in that comment section. And Johnny, let's move on into the next trailer. We're keeping the DC thing going, as like I said, and we're moving on into this, or Titans is my favorite trailer from the weekend. Titans was like, oh my God, this was amazing. And it was my first scene. This one I saw yesterday. Shazam is what we're looking at today. And I was like, all right, this is probably my new favorite trailer. I don't know which one's my first. I'm just going to say 1A and 1B. Put them wherever you want because they're my favorite. So Here's how we're going to do it. If you're joining us on YouTube, what we do, we watch the trailer with you guys, and then we kind of give our thoughts and reactions of what we're thinking about Shazam. I'm going to move over the equipment, our fancy equipment that we have here, moving over the plugs to the headphones. Are you ready? Are you ready, J-Man?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
You've run from foster homes in 6 counties.
I can take care of myself.
Stealing cars, not good, Johnny.
Give these people a chance. Because that's what they're giving you.
This is Billy Batson. Make sure you make him feel at home.
They seem nice, but don't buy it. It gets real Game of Thrones around here. Dude, just messing around. You look at me and you're like, why so dark? You're a disabled foster kid. You've got it all.
He's going to be, Freddy's going to be my favorite character.
Mm-hmm. Great comic
Everybody
relief.
chooses flight. You know why?
So they can fly away from this conversation?
No, because heroes fly.
What, you need your fake family to stand up for you? Hey!
Oh,
Man, sorry about that.
Man, that second
right
shot.
in the face.
Face shot, the nut shot. They could have pulled those doors open. Just want to point that out.
So the little spoiler I'm going to say is the guy that plays the Shazam wizard right now, he is also in the Aquaman movie.
Is he really?
So I will point him out in the Aquaman trailer in the next segment as well.
Damn.
Hello?
I think he's also in a Marvel
Say
movie too.
my name so my powers may flow through you.
Say my
I
name.
don't know your name, sir.
Shazam.
Wait, for real? Say, okay! Shazam?
Costume doesn't look that bad.
I like it.
Remember when people were freaking out about it though?
Huh?
Remember when people were freaking out about it when we saw those pictures?
No, I like it.
This is my favorite part with the costume.
That's crazy, right?
The electricity coming off of it.
Superpowers, dude. I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
Is that a Fortnite dance?
It might be. I don't know. I don't play.
Why are you talking?
Oh.
You know, I don't think that's gonna buff out.
Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged.
The hell?
Your phone's charged.
Gentlemen!
You have bullet immunity!
I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed.
Oh, hey. What's up? I'm a superhero.
Hey, sup? I'm a superhero.
And I'll be completely honest. Part of me feels like, and I want to ask you this to kind of start this.
Yeah.
Is there was a part of me after watching this and watching the Aquaman trailer, which we're going to do after this, there was part of me that's like, wow, I'm really excited. And then I was like, wait a second. Should I be excited? This is DC. This is DC we're talking about, who knows how to screw things up. Here's what I'm thinking in my head. Every movie that I've thought was crap from DC, well, not all of them were crap, but not really good. Suicide Squad, BVS takes the cake. Justice League was not bad, but not as good as I wanted it to be.
Wonder Woman hit the nail on the head.
That's the thing. Notice the Suicide Squad, BVS, Justice
Team
League.
ones.
You're cramming too much into a movie. Wonder Woman is, hey, you're giving me one hero. You're telling an amazing story. I was happy. I'm thinking this and Aquaman, I'm thinking are going to be the same as Wonder Woman. That's why I am excited for Shazam.
I like how someone I was talking to about it as well. They said they're excited but hesitant. Why?
Very.
Because DC. That's why. But no, it's because let's put it this way. DC's been a 50-50 on origin stories. Superman was okay.
You're talking Man of Steel?
Man of Steel, yeah.
It's kind of hard to fuck up Superman's origin story, though. Like that and Batman, it's hard to screw up that origin.
They did okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, why did we get a brooding Superman? That is always the thing you and I both said.
That was also a Zack Snyder thing, I believe.
But anyways, Wonder Woman was great, so hopefully they've got the right role. And I know this is going to be a jab in a sense, but it's because it's good now. It looks good now. Hey, you're taking a note from Marvel and you can be lighthearted, guys.
Well, it's not like the Shazam character has to be lighthearted.
Well, yeah.
He has to
But
be.
look at Aquaman, too.
I mean...
It seems fairly lighthearted for as serious a movie as it is. It's kind of like some of the stuff Marvel's starting to do.
But even I'll say this even in Aquaman, the jokes Momoa threw in the Aquaman trailer, he threw in Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we just don't have to be as dark and gritty as we tried to be before.
That's what I'm saying.
We were trying to be different.
They're not being dark and gritty, which is like, hey guys, you're finally taking a note
from what we've been saying.
What you've been doing.
The thing
away from what you've been doing.
The thing I love most about this trailer is I absolutely love the casting of Zachary Levi as Shazam. Absolutely love it. Because for me, like, maybe this is because I'm used to seeing Zachary Levi. So one of my favorite TV shows is Chuck.
Okay.
I was told to watch it by one of my old bosses. I watched it. Loved that series. Wasn't really fond of the ending of it, but I loved that series for Chuck. In Chuck, Zachary Levi, playing the main character of Chuck, was a man-childish character where, yeah, he was an adult working at a Best Buy. Well, a Best Buy.
I did that.
But he was like into comic books and stuff, and his best friend was just as nerdy as he was, and they played video games and stuff. He's used to playing those man-childish characters, which if you think about Shazam, yeah, he's an adult, meaning like he looks like a big person.
He's physically an adult.
He's a kid in an adult body. He's big. And that's how they've been describing this as the DC version of big.
So me.
Kind of, yeah. The Tom Hanks movie I'm talking about.
Oh, no, I was going to say, it's a large body with a child.
You're a child in an adult body.
Yeah.
The man-child.
Yeah.
It's us. We're man-children. And that's why I love
I also worked at a Best
much.
Buy, so that's kind of weird you mentioned that.
I love this trailer. Like, watching Zachary Levi be Shazam, I was like...
I'm excited.
He fits it. Like, it's not exactly what I remember from animated cartoons and movies for Shazam, but it's got the main core there.
I feel like it's as damn close as you can get.
Oh, no. I'm not saying like it's super far away, but it fits what Shazam is at the core. And the thing, I don't know if you noticed this, if you look back at the trailer, when they pulled open that drawer and he had Freddy had the newspapers in there.
Yeah.
Did you know what that little bag that had the certificate of authenticity, what that was? That. So if you go back and look at it, it looks like a bronze button. What that really is a bullet from BVS. So what they're saying is...
Because I saw the Batman...
So what they're saying is that this guy, after BVS happened, you know, when Batman shot all the bullets at him out of the Batmobile, someone went to that place, picked up all the bullet casings that hit Superman, and sold them on eBay. And Freddy got one. And that's one of the bullets that hit Superman. That hit Superman in BVS when Batman was firing them all at him. But like, one of the things I also like about this is that he doesn't know how to use his powers.
No.
He's got to learn how to use those. And that's where we get like the, oh my God, I got super strength. Oh, do you know how to fly? No, not really. Not really. I can't fly yet. And that's why I'm wondering, will Superman be in this one?
Yeah, maybe teach him how to fly or just check up on, hey, I heard something about a super around here.
Because he's going to be, if he starts throwing guys through convenience store windows,
that's going to get someone's attention.
He's going to be getting some attention from stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know Henry Cavill wasn't at the Comic-Con thing because he's promoting the Mission Impossible movie that he's in. But what were I'm kind of talking a lot about this. What were some of your thoughts about this trailer?
I mean, I don't know as much about the characters I used to. I've forgotten a lot of stuff. I'm super excited because so far it seems like he plays him really well.
You're talking about Zachary Levi?
Yes. Plays Shazam like a man in it.
You were going
with
to say
child's
like a book, weren't you?
What?
I thought it sounded like you were going to say he plays him like a book.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say he plays a man with a child's mind, sort of like a teenager's mind, very well, especially when trying to figure out your powers. And it's a lot better than what we've been getting. At least it seems like it. Again, this is trailers, so I'm just going to, when I say it, it's like take it with a grain of salt because I know it's not necessarily true. From what it all looks like it's going to be a lot better. It looks like it's going to be the dynamics could be way different than what we've been getting with DC all around. It's not going to be gritty anymore. It's going to be they're finally hitting the characters better than what they were. And it's great. I love it. I can't wait to see more about this when we start getting one or two more trailers. Yeah. Before we should get it. Do you remember what date it was supposed to be out, or do they not have one yet?
The date here on IMDb, I know it's April 2019. They just have April 2019.
Not a ton longer before we're supposed to get it anyways. Dude, so we should at least get one more trailer.
If you think about it, like we are going to get Aquaman in December, Captain Marvel in around the same time. Captain Marvel's going to be in March. Shazam will be around the same time as Avengers.
Yes.
If Avengers moves up, right now Avengers is set for May, but if they move it up a week like they did last time, it might compete with Shazam.
Yeah.
That's why I think that right now they're just putting April 2019 because I don't think
they may want to play around with when is Marvel going to throw out their second Avengers movie?
I would not want
second Infinity War movie.
If Marvel moved Avengers 4 to the same weekend as Shazam, I would move Shazam if I was DC. I would not go 1v1 versus Avengers 4.
No.
You're going to lose that battle.
You are, because it's like, hey, do I see this one? Do I see this one? I'm seeing Avengers 4 because I want to know what the fuck happens.
Exactly. It's a culmination of 10 years.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a bigger movie than what you're putting out.
Well,
DC.
not just that. Marvel left us at a certain point. It's like
even after Ant-Man, they left us at a certain point.
We're shaking to we need our fix. I'm actually shaking the whole table as I do that.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's like we need our fix. I need to know what happened to everyone and how they're gonna fix this because we can't leave the Marvel universe like this.
And also, I found out the actor that played the wizard. It's the guy from. Have you seen Blood Diamond?
No.
It's Solomon Vandy from Blood Diamond. He was in Guardians.
Okay.
When Star-Lord was in the cave in the first Guardians.
Okay.
The guy that he goes, I'm Star-Lord. And he goes, Who? Yeah, that's it.
That guy?
So he's the wizard. And then he's another character I'll point out in the Aquaman movie as well.
Okay.
So he's going to be in Guardians 3. He's going to be in not Captain Marvel. Well, technically Shazam was Captain Marvel originally, but now he's Shazam. And then lost
the rights for the name.
Yeah. And then he's also in Aquaman. So there'll be month after month that he's in a couple movies.
Damn, he's got a lot of movies he's in.
The thing that this also makes me excited for is, so you've got, I can't remember, Mark Strong, I think, is the actor's name. He was in, Mark Strong, who was in Kingsman.
Villain of this movie.
He's a villain in this one. So he's Dr. Savannah, which they're going to play into, I hope they play into the 7 Deadly Sins, which is kind of like the backstory of how he's able to, because the weird thing is, how is this guy able to just stop Shazam from punching him? He just catches his punch like it's no problem.
Stares at him.
The thing that this trailer has made me want is 2 things. I know they're setting up the Shazam family. I wonder if those kids are going to get power. Yeah, the Shazamily. I wonder if those kids, like Freddy, are going to get powers at the end of the movie. Because New 52, they all have Shazam powers.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and they all have different, one's a blue suit with the lightning bolt. The girl who I believe is Martha or Mary. Mary Brownfield is her name. I knew it started with an M. Mary, her costume in the comics is like a red with a little reddish skirt and a bolt, and she's got the white cape as well. One's green, one's blue. There's a red one. They're just different colors. They're all going to get powers eventually. It's just when they do. You know what else this makes me want more than ever? I just want this movie to be good so I can get what I heard a little bit of inklings, The Rock talking this week about it.
Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Oh,
like,
hell
I
yeah.
wonder in this movie...
If we're going to even get a hint of him?
Kind of. I wonder if the Wizard... I wonder if the Wizard who gives Shazam his powers will ever mention the Fallen One. Because Black Adam is supposed to be... It was the Wizard... He's the one that I gave my powers to him... And he went to the dark side, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He is the fallen champion,
Yes.
is what Black Adam is. And I wonder if they will mention him in this movie, because The Rock has said we are still doing that Black Adam movie. Like, don't be hesitant. We are doing that. We just want to do it right. They're kind of just planning everything.
No, definitely. And I would hope they would. Now, I can't wait then, especially, they got to at least mention him.
After credit scene?
After credit scene, or even like when he's talking to him about giving him his powers, like just a mention of him. Like, please be careful with these powers. Don't go to the like, not exactly like Star Wars. Don't go to the dark side,
but don't be like, inform him about the fallen champion.
Yeah, like don't let this get to your head. You need to be the way you always were, type thing.
This movie is going to be... I think this is going to be a good movie.
I think so too. It looks great.
This spring. I am excited for it.
As I'm watching it for like the third time already.
I can't wait to see another trailer of it. Like, I think what we'll get... I'm thinking one more trailer when Aquaman comes out around then. Do you think that's too soon? No, it's about half a year.
Yeah.
We'll get one more trailer when Aquaman comes out.
August, September, October,
and
November,
then they'll really
December,
start their press push
5 months.
The month before. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
We should get at least one more trailer. If not, when Aquaman comes out the month after. You have to by then.
Any final thoughts on this before we move into Aquaman?
No, it looks fantastic. I can't wait. Again, the hesitation's there in the background at least because it's DC, but I have a lot of hope for it.
By the way...
Because it stands for hope.
And someone's going to correct me and say I'm wrong, but I believe I am right in saying this. But when the Shazam costume first leaked, the picture of it, and everyone was like, oh, it looks bad. What does this have to do? Why does he look so buff? Didn't I tell you guys, just wait and see? Let's see what the final effects look like, because it looks phenomenal in this trailer.
It does.
It looks... My favorite part, like I said, is when Freddy goes to touch it and the lightning like comes off of it and like kind of like those lightning
the orb
spear
things
that you can touch, and then you touch them too long, you're like, my fingers hurt.
No, that's the one thing I really do like of what DC does with it, even with Superman's suit. They take it like from the comics and they give the actual suit like texture.
Yeah.
So it looks good as opposed to spandex.
It's not like Green Lantern suit too.
Please don't make it CGI and green.
Which, by the way, I know you're not going to like this reference, but I'm going to throw it out there anyways. I watched the newest trailer for Teen Titans Go to the Movies, and one of the funniest parts is the Justice League is there, and they're like, and Cyborg's like, oh, Green Lantern, didn't they make a movie about you? He goes, yeah, but we don't like to talk about that one. Like, DC blatantly making fun of themselves for the Green Lantern movie. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think of the Shazam trailer? Are you excited? Are you not excited? What did you like? What didn't you like? Let us know down below in that comment section. And Johnny, let's move on. Yet another trailer. Bang, bang, boom. We're just moving
good job.
right
You got
on.
this time.
This time I did. If I'm nice, I excluded that part from our podcast, which I've done that before accidentally, by the way. Like the onside kick we did where I screwed up the intro. And it was literally like a what's up? And then I stopped and I was like, yeah, I'm going to redo that. And then I went ahead and did it again and completely forgot to cut that out. And I left it in.
I kind of hope you do now.
I did that once on a podcast. Let's hope I don't forget to cut out.
Oh, I really hope you do now.
When I said like bling, bling, bloom instead of bling, bang, boom.
Blam, bling, bling, bling.
But we're moving into our next trailer, our last DC trailer, which is kind of sad. Our last one. Not a single Marvel trailer on this whole Comic-Con podcast, Johnny.
I know, right?
Not a single. Couldn't even give us Captain Marvel.
Not even MCU, you mean?
Yeah.
We got a Marvel one.
No, we got Venom.
Just not MCU.
Just not MCU. I thought we were going to get Captain Marvel,
I thought so, too. I would think so. But they have some things going on.
I feel like also they're kind of on their own thing. Like, that's cute. You think you can tell us what to do? Oh, we'll give you that when we're ready.
We'll give it to you when we feel like it. We're not going to rush out for you.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. But
we got some other stuff to deal with on the side anyways.
We are looking at Aquaman in this segment, or as Dave likes to call him, Aqua Bro.
Word.
And how we do it. If you're on YouTube coming in and you're new, we're going to watch the trailer with you guys, and then we are going to kind of give our thoughts about it, react while we're watching it, and then give our thoughts. So we're going to change our high-tech equipment, meaning I got to plug my headphones into my computer. Johnny just puts on a second headset because he's so fancy like that.
Oh, yeah. See?
Let me know when you're ready, J-Man. 3, 2, 1, go.
My father was a lighthouse keeper.
That's Boba Fett, by the way.
Yeah.
His father.
But life has a way of bringing people together.
We could unite our worlds one day.
Check it out. Arthur is talking to the fish.
This is another thing that I like with this and the Shazam movie.
Mm-hmm.
They make the kids look like this guy looks like Momoa. I know it's easy to do that with hair and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Permission to come aboard.
I've been looking for you. Your half-brother, King Orm, is about to declare war upon the surface world.
The only way to stop this war is for you to take your rightful place as king.
I think Mara might be my favorite character in this.
Yeah?
You do your best thinking when you're not thinking at all.
That was the worst pep talk
I think their dynamic's going to be great.
Strap in.
So the wizard is coming up. Solomon Dia, basically, or Solomon Bandy.
My brother has come from the surface to challenge me for the throne.
I call it an ass whooping. I'm no leader. I came because I have no choice. I came to save my own and the people that I love.
You think you're unworthy to lead because you're of two different worlds. But that is exactly why you are worthy.
That was awesome.
That's him.
Oh,
the guy in like the gold armor. The Fisherman King.
Fishman, yeah.
The wrath of the seven seas with me.
We're here.
What are you doing? Wait.
She never parachute.
Redheads, you gotta love them.
Gotta love him. Oh. So
Well, I might be growing my hair back out for a cosplay.
Here's the
now.
first thing I'm going to ask you. And this is going to be kind of 1A into the true question I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
The first question is, what do you think of the blue and white color palette for like the logo and stuff? Because that threw me through a loop. Not like oh my God, this is bad, but like, oh, I didn't know that was the color palette we were going with for like the logo and stuff. What'd you think of that?
I kind of like it. I mean, I like the color palettes they've chosen for everything in this movie because it's I'm trying to think. It again, like I said, they are going a different path than the dark and gritty they used to be. Yeah, there's a lot of serious points they're going to hit in there, but now they're actually like I feel like they're getting more true to the characters. They're not making everything so serious, dark, and
it actually looks light.
Yes, it actually exactly. You can. I feel a lot better about what they're going with because this and Shazam, way better than what they were doing before. It looks like.
You know what else I really like about this trailer? Hey, I need to talk to you underwater. Air bubble. We're not doing that.
No. Remember
from Justice League where it was like, hey, I need to talk to you. Here, let me create this air bubble so that we can talk underwater.
Yeah.
I like how the special effects, because I looked into it, what they do is for the underwater, they're dry. Because how they kind of pictured it is if you were underwater, you wouldn't look wet when you were underwater. So then they kind of moved the hair and stuff and kind of do that in post. But then what they would have to do is, let's say Aquaman was talking underwater and then went up to the surface, or like Mira when she went up to the surface, they'd have to hose them down because it's like, all right, now we have to make you look wet because now you're not underwater anymore.
Exactly. You can't look wet underwater.
Yeah.
So.
And I loved how the special effects looked in the trailer.
No, it was great. And I'm surprised that like part of that, and maybe it is part of it, and I've never really looked into it. When they're underwater, like they do the underwater CGIing of the hair and stuff. I'm surprised they don't just really like take a lot of film footage of that hair
and just
have them underwater to film them for a little while and have them do certain movements under the water.
Yeah.
In that sense. So I mean, maybe that's how maybe that is partially how they do it. Maybe that they don't like doing it like that. But yeah, that blue and white color palette's nice. I just saw it again. That's why I brought it up. I love the dynamic between the two. I think it's going to be great between him and Mira.
Well, it's
Mira, right?
Yeah, they're going to be Mira. I've heard it both ways. MERA. But I love kind of like the love kind of mix in between. And the thing that I love the most is when she's talking to him, I could be wrong, but Mark and I read the comic for a graphic conversation. When she's talking to him and it's kind of like darker because it's at night and there's a car there, when she walks up the dock, that I believe is taken straight out of the Jeff Johns run with Aquaman Volume 1, The Trench.
Oh, yeah?
Because shortly after that, you see the boat when they jump off the boat and he's got the flare in his hand. Those like piranha monster looking things.
Yeah.
Those are the monsters that live in the trench.
Okay.
And the trench is like so far down below sea level that even Aquaman has a hard time being down there.
Yeah.
Like that's how far down it is and where they live, where they've kind of de-evolved into that.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at the Fisher King, which I pointed out, his race of people, they've kind of evolved from what Aquaman is into this like aquatic race.
Yeah.
I think the word I'm trying to look for.
Like almost strictly aquatic.
But that whole thing with her talking to him on the dock, them jumping off the boat with the trench monsters around, that's straight out of the trench, which I was like, holy crap, that is awesome that they're doing that. And also like the lighthouse, right out of the comics, looks exactly like it is. And I was like, yes, give me that.
Nice.
The thing that I can't wait to see is when he gets his orange and green suit. Because I believe he's going to get that once they find, because it's supposed to be like an Indiana Jones-esque thing where that trident that came down that like the king had, that's what they're looking for.
Okay.
Is the trident of, I believe Poseidon. It would be his father. Poseidon, Atlantis, whatever they're going to call
there's
it.
so many names they give it. But yeah, so that trident. That's cool. And I like the addition of two enemies in a sense of his brother Orm, my bad, there's Orm. And also Black Manta.
I can't, that looks
I'm
so
curious to see
cool.
what because I know they said they changed up his origin a bit. So I'm curious to see what exactly they make his origin.
What people are thinking is when he jumped on that sub, people are thinking that the two guys he was looking at were Black Manta and his father.
True.
And that Aquaman is a reason why his father dies, and then he wants to kill Aquaman. And Orm's like, hey, I want to kill Aquaman too. Here, I'll give you this Atlantean tech so you can be Black Manta.
Yeah. The only other thing is like, that would make sense for the suit then. The only thing is like, I remember his original story was he wears the suit because water hurts his skin, even though he's an Atlantean. Am I correct?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Someone, I guess, still a cool origin story. I'm just curious to see like how that all plays out, because no, that makes a lot of sense. That's what I was thinking too. Is like that on that submarine, that would play into it very well because they're all dressed partially like that in the first place.
Because in the whole thing with this movie that'll be interesting with Aquaman's character, is he's supposed to feel in this like I don't fit on the surface world because they look at me like I'm a freak. But then I go down to Atlantis and they look at me like I'm not a monster, but they look at me like I'm some sort of half-breed.
Yeah.
And like I'm not a full Atlantean. So it's like I don't fit in anywhere. And that's kind of the thing that he's struggling with. Because like Orm, if you're not, if you're listening, you're like, so why is he a half-brother of Aquaman? Arthur's mother, pardon me, marries and has a child with Arthur's father, who's a human, a surface dweller.
Mm-hmm.
Then after a while, she's like, hey, I got to go back. Like, I am the queen. I'm supposed to be the queen of Atlantis. I have to go back. And she leaves Arthur and his father, goes to Atlantis, and as their custom, she's got to marry someone. She's got to marry an Atlantean. So she marries an Atlantean, has a kid. Boom, that's where Orm comes from.
Yeah,
so that's why it's a half-brother
brother.
thing. Yeah, and that to me, I am so interested to see how that plays out.
That's true.
With the whole half-brother against Aquaman kind of a thing, because we're going to get the trial by combat Game of Thrones style.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you've seen a picture of it, but I did. I was looking up. They blatantly were like, yeah, we didn't want to give Aquaman like a little seahorsey thing to ride and have people make fun of him. So his seahorse kind of looks like a dragon.
That's
so
awesome.
Khal Drogo gets his dragon, just in Aquaman.
Finally gets a dragon.
Yeah, Khal Drogo gets his dragon. It just has to wait until they get to
It's just a water dragon.
Aquaman. Yeah. I'm actually going to look a picture up, and I will put the picture right now. I'm going to put it up there for you guys to see for a couple seconds. But Johnny, I'm going to send you the video that has it in it with the timestamp.
Okay.
But what else from this trailer do you think we should hit, if anything?
No, I love the origin story of like how his powers come to manifest, being bullied on in school, just a lot of it. I mean, the storyline looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and like you said, Indiana Jones-esque.
Because they're looking for that trident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, there's a lot of good points that I can't wait to see it.
This one I'm more nervous about than Shazam. I will say that. I'm more nervous for this one than Shazam, with the kind of like, please be good. Please be good. Please don't let this be a huge flop. The trailer looks good. Everything from me, I'm like, I watched this trailer a couple times. It's probably my third favorite behind. It's not like on a Titan Shazam level.
This, I'll be honest, is my second favorite.
Really?
Over Titans, yeah.
Wow. Is it because that you now want to cosplay as Aquaman?
Want to go back? I wanted to before.
Before you're like, well, like before we're like, oh, Aquaman, make fun of him because he's Aquaman, and then
no, I mean, ever since the DC universe introduced this Aquaman,
Aquabra,
I've been wanting. I wanted to do it. It's just I stopped growing my hair out, and it's like that's why I made the comment at the end of it. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I gotta maybe grow my hair back out.
The last thing I'm gonna bring up that you just kind of brought back into my head,
yeah.
When I was saying the thing about like the kids, where I like how they make like the child actors and the adult actors relate to each other. One of the coolest parts from this trailer was when younger Arthur is looking at the fish, and then you see his eyes, his pupils just change from that blue to that gold that we now see, to where it almost feels like, to me, like it's like, all right, that's where he became Aquaman.
Yeah.
And he fully got his powers.
Like his powers fully kicked in.
Exactly.
When he's being bullied by the kids.
That is going to be such a great scene, but this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below. What do you think about Aquaman? Are you excited? Are you going to get the DC Universe to try to get those 2 free tickets for Aquaman, especially now after seeing this trailer? Let us know what you like, what you didn't like, what you want to see in Aquaman down below in that description, or in that comment section. Not the description, in the comment section.
I mean, we only write the description.
Yeah, we write the descriptions, but let us know down below. And Johnny, another trailer we're reacting to here on the podcast. If you're coming in from YouTube, hello. It is great to see you. Blog Talk Radio and podcast services around the world. You guys are troopers on this podcast. This is going to be probably one of our longer podcasts that we have ever done in quite some time, going through all these trailers, talking about Comic-Con, and we're pushing our DC to the side, but we're staying in the Warner Brothers kind of sea of things. I'll say sea of things. And we're looking at Godzilla King of Monsters. And before we get into this trailer, if you're coming in on YouTube, what we usually do is we watch the trailer with you guys, we react to it, and then we kind of talk about it and discuss the trailer with you guys. The thing I want to set up with this is a sequel to Godzilla 2014, the Godzilla movie that came out in 2014. This is also connected to Kong Skull Island.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to know how long that movie came out? That was probably like our second or third podcast. Yeah. Like that was when we used to do like the intro things to each podcast. Yep. Remember the one we did for Skull Island?
Oh, I do remember.
Where we had the button-up shirts and
black
the vest,
and white,
and we did the
sepia. I don't remember what you did in.
It was like that kind of gray, that yellowish.
The tannish.
Yeah, tannish.
The sepia.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
That's exactly what I did with it. Kind of like the old. Tiny...
I couldn't remember if you did it black and white or sepia.
No, I didn't do black and white.
Okay,
but
so
like
you did sepia.
That's how long it's been since we looked at Kong Skull Island. We get a trailer for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. At Comic-Con.
Yes, the monsters.
We are going to look at it. So, Johnny, are you ready to look at this thing? Johnny's got to... We got to
like I'm ready.
We got to do what we always do. I got to put my headphones into my computer. I got to unmute my computer this time.
Yeah,
because the last segment, I didn't have it unmuted right away. And then I didn't mute it when we were starting to talk about Aquaman.
I heard that.
Yeah, that was me. That was not you. I saw you look down at your laptop like, was that me? And I was like,
wait, are my headphones loud enough?
I was like, just ignore it because that was me. So
I just wasn't sure if my headphones were too loud. That's all.
Oh, your headphones were too loud?
When I heard that noise?
Well, this is where we're going to jump into Godzilla just like we always do. 3, 2, 1, go.
Our world is changing.
Oh, it's a Stranger Things trailer.
The mass extinction we feared.
No.
See, her nose is supposed to bleed when she does stuff like that, right?
I'm sorry, that's it.
Is she actually going to talk in this movie, though? Because she barely talked in Stranger Things.
Wow, her powers got a lot better.
Damn.
But like all living organisms, the Earth unleashed a fever to fight this infection. Its original and rightful rulers, the Titans. For thousands of years, these creatures have remained in hiding around the world. And unless all the Titans
is that
are
ice?
Found,
I think it is.
Yeah, they got ice. They got jackets on. I'm asking if it's ice.
They are the only guarantee that life will carry
Aww.
on.
Mothra.
I like how with the music and stuff, they're trying to make it like, oh, it's a beautiful monster movie. Nothing bad will happen. Clear Eye Full Arts can't lose, Johnny.
The hell's going through that wall? No way.
You're a monster. I'm sorry.
Long live the king.
You want to know what's funny about that? He's King Lannister.
No, he's not King Lannister. He was Luke. But I get it.
That made me so happy when he was like, long live the king. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check. Isn't that's the guy who played the father Lannister, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So when he said long live the king, I was like, oh, that makes me smile. Because he was a king in another Game of Thrones reference on this podcast for a trailer that has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. But Johnny, I will ask you this. What do you think of the trailer, Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
Looks great. The music was a little weird. They had like that beautiful music as all these monsters are unleashing.
The music made this trailer weird in general for me. It just didn't sit right. Because at first I'm like, are the monsters the good guys?
Some of them might be. So I'm trying to look it up right now. I'm trying to get the monsters' names.
Yeah.
Because that three-headed dragon, which at the moment I can't find his name, and I want to say it's Gul'dan, but I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, we saw Mothra. And the thing that I looked into is apparently they're going to change some of the names for the movie, which
Gamera.
is just weird as well.
That's not Gamera either. Well, you did see Gamera though, which is that turtle. Like when the girl puts her hand out, I'm pretty sure that's Gamera. Because what happens is a turtle gets turned into, at least in the old ones, from what I remember, a turtle gets turned into that.
Okay.
King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
That 3-headed dragon thing. I feel like it's gonna be like he's the bad monster. And when I feel like that's where that Long Live the King comes in. Because it's going to be Godzilla takes down King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Ghidorah.
You got King Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, which is the 3-headed dragon. You got Rodan, Mothra, and then the mighty Godzilla.
Yes.
Are the ones that we have. And the thing for me that's interesting with this is the character that we saw at the very beginning, which is played by who is that? Who it was played by? I think it's Vera Farmiga. She's the character at the beginning that's like, we need to save these Titans because they're supposed to help us. She's Dr. Emma Russell. I wonder if at the end of the trailer, when the one character looks at her and goes,
"You're the monster.
You're a monster," and she goes, "I'm sorry." If this was oh no, these monsters aren't supposed to help us. I was basically getting you guys to free these monsters for whatever ulterior motive.
Honestly, I wonder if she's like the type that, like, she's talking about how we're a plague or we're a disease and these monsters are
they're supposed to wipe us out then.
So I wonder if she's like so set in that mindset that yeah, these monsters are gonna wipe out who doesn't like need to live and like start us from
exactly
like
0.
10%. Like where it's like, okay, this is the amount of humans that are supposed to be on Earth. This is how we're supposed to live life. I wonder if that's what her mentality is, because they wake up Godzilla, they wake up Mothra, they wake up King Ghidorah, Rodan, and I believe what do we say that the turtle one is? I don't know what his origin story is going to be in this exactly.
I don't know the turtle one. I'm going off of the ones that are on the Wikipedia page right now.
Okay, well I'm just saying because she reaches and touches. Unless that's Mothra that she touches like that, which I would find weird because it looks more like a turtle's head than it does a moth. But again, I don't know how they're going to CGI Mothra yet. So I mean, I'm going to guess and say that's who the other one is. Is that turtle one? I just forgot the name. I said what I said. I got rid of the page already.
And apparently, I'm looking it up right now. Is apparently that Dr. Russell, the chick, she works for Monarch, who we've seen their logo already in Kong Skull Island. So we've already seen them. Apparently she is working for them. So really I'm thinking she's the one that's going to be the bad guy at the end and kind of screws over everyone to like, great, what do we do with these monsters?
Like maybe she thought she could free these, not free them, but not free them, but like maybe she thought like, hey, maybe I can figure out how to control them if we release them, or maybe it's maybe that's even her father, and she had such an obsession like, I know these monsters are real, help me release them. So
you know what's interesting? Kyle Chandler, who he's the one that I said Clear Eyes, Full Hearts Can't Lose. Because he was also Coach Taylor in the Friday Night Lights TV series. So he's playing Mark Russell. So he's Emma's ex-husband, and he joins the rescue mission with two of the other doctors to save Emma and Madison. Whereas Madison is Millie Bobby Brown's character, where she is the daughter of Mark and Emma Russell. So it's a whole thing of this Dr. Emma Russell and her daughter being kidnapped and what's going on here. And I feel like one of the questions that's going on in my head that I'll ask you is, this is me jumping the gun, but I'm going to ask it anyways. How does this lead to 2020 Godzilla versus Kong? Because this is supposed to lead to that. We're getting Godzilla versus Kong in 2020, this is the next movie in that universe.
That's a hard one because this takes place modern day. Godzilla. Kong took place in the 70s.
Yeah.
So that island is his domain, and he sort of protects the people from bad monsters. I wonder if they're gonna like lead. I don't think they're gonna take him off the island and bring him. I think they're gonna try and lead the monsters there.
Exactly. They capture they capture the monsters and like, we got to put them somewhere, and they go, somebody from like, I know where to put them.
Yeah.
An island that no one knows about. Because
guys.
even in Kong Skull Island, that was an island that no one knew about.
Barely anyone. There's only like a select few that put it, and maybe they'll go, I know where we can lead these monsters to. They like kind of draw their attention and lead them over there, put them on that island, and it's just a brawl fest at that point.
Or it's just, because another thing you got to think about is how many of these monsters are going to survive by the end.
Exactly.
Is Godzilla going to be the only monster that survives? Because it's called Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
So I think he's going to kill King. I think he's going to kill King Ghidorah.
I think he's got to.
Ghidorah.
I think he's got to.
Yeah, because that's what I'm like. I saw the 1, 2, 3 of that like yellow lightning-ish stuff going through that hallway as the person runs down. Like, no fucking way. And King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And like all the you think he's got to be the villain because all the menacing shadows that you see, like especially the one with it's all cloud and fog, and you just see head as the lightning strikes. It's like,
and you see the silhouette and like the
and
clouds.
that's usually a decent sign that that's the villain. Godzilla, they just show him up front, blasts right into the sky, really effing cool.
And I like how at the end we got the Godzilla roar.
Yeah. Also, I cannot wait. I have to add that absolutely beautiful. Like, as Mothra's wings open up, I'm like, holy crap.
Matched the music. It was like,
beautifully. That matched the music beautifully. And again, I think, like I said, I could be wrong. I think it's their version of Gamera, which is like the turtle-ish one. Again, don't know what their origin stories of that's going to be, but that's the one where the girl puts her hand out.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown's character.
Yeah, and the head just goes towards it. Like, I feel like they're almost going to go with what it's supposed to be, which is some kid's turtle got into some toxic stuff and grew
into it
to that size, and they're probably going to use that as sort of the we need this to fight, help us fight this. Obviously,
because of his carapace.
Yeah, the what?
The carapace, the shell.
Yeah, but it's going to be like, not just that, it's like, we have a monster.
Mark's like, or not Mark, Johnny's like, I haven't heard that word in a while.
Yeah.
Mr. Scientist on the other side of the table. First I almost called you Sean, then I called you Mark before I got Johnny right.
Yeah. I see how it is.
But the thing, like you said, like, oh, it's a like when
it's
I first
on our
saw
side,
it,
but it's because of the owner animal relationship.
When I first saw the trailer, I was like, what is that one? Then I'm like, Mothra. I already know that one. I know Ghidorah. And then it's like, you said turtle, and I went, oh, it does kind of look like a turtle. Like,
yeah,
it didn't spark
it's almost
my
got
mind
like a
right
sea
away.
turtle looking head.
Exactly.
But it's like, they can do whatever they want with it because, I mean, look at Kong, looks beautiful. Godzilla looks great. I'll be honest, I haven't seen the 2014 one yet. Shame on me.
It's the one with Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, it is. King Ghidorah. Beautiful. We haven't gotten a great photo of him, but damn, does he look menacing just what we can see of him.
This is the first
Especially
trailer.
Flying.
This is the first trailer we've gotten of this movie, and it kind of sounds like yes is the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyways.
Yeah.
How high, on a scale of, we'll say 1 to 5, how hyped are you for this movie?
Right now, it's a 5. This looks great. And like I said, I need to see the other Godzilla to be caught up and everything.
Well, because, I mean, both of us, we saw Skull Island. We reviewed Skull Island.
I think, didn't you say you saw the 2014 Godzilla?
Oh,
like when it came out?
Yeah, but I'd rewatch it, obviously.
I'm going to. I need to watch it because I can't wait. Like, this, I'm so excited. And I'm not, like, the biggest, like, I've never watched all the original Godzilla
monster guy.
Yeah, I'm not a huge one, but I know enough about it.
Well, you got to think about it this way: with us and our kind of when we grew up, we just missed.
That.
Like, it was more of an '80s thing. It was when like people that are 10 years older than us, about 10 to 5 years older than us, those are usually the ones I see that are really into the Godzilla monster movies.
You and I have a friend that's really into it, and that's where I learned a lot of this stuff from. So the only one I'm curious to, I don't know if that would be King Ghidorah or if that's someone else. They blow up a volcano, and something just spreads its wings out of there.
I think that's Rodan because he's got the wings.
Okay, that's true. Like I keep forgetting about Rodan.
Yeah. I think that's him because, and also the thing that I read that I don't know if it's completely true, but I'll say it anyways. I did hear they might change a couple of the names of the monsters to kind of be different things, but I hope that's not true because obviously
that would make sense.
You have
that's
these
Rodan.
monsters for a reason. Any final thoughts you got on this one before we move on into Venom?
No.
That was my terrible Venom attempt, by the way.
I'll try it after you're done for you. I'm excited, especially these concept arts. I just went by typing his name and looked up. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do with this, especially hopefully it's not a BVS by throwing all these monsters in there.
The monster movies have done okay by throwing, especially the Godzilla ones.
Oh, I'm not saying that's as big of a chance, but I'm just hoping it doesn't do that. Like
you're not throwing too much in there.
Hopefully we didn't just throw too many monsters in at a time.
We should have just had Godzilla versus this monster.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, it makes more sense to have them all like in there kind of battling it out because maybe like Rodan more so favors King Ghidorah's side because winged monster and hey, King Ghidorah lets me do whatever I want as long as I'm out of his way, where Godzilla's like, no, I'm sick of bowing down to King Ghidorah.
Also, the thing you got to think about too is and Mark and I are going to read this for a graphic conversation when the movie comes out for this, but there is a graphic novel series called Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
so I wonder how much of that
is going to play
is going to relate to that too.
I mean, they may. Now, do you know if is that Marvel or DC?
I don't think it's either.
Well, I'm just asking because I know, like, I found out recently Star Wars was picked up.
It's comic
book wise by Marvel too, which I was surprised a little bit to find out at first. It's like, I guess they bought all the intellectual properties and not just the movie ones.
Yeah.
And by the way, here's the Venom thing for you.
Okay.
We are Venom.
There you go.
Better? That good for you?
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you for trying that. Yeah. I don't think that the Godzilla... It's Dark Horse Comics.
It is Dark... Ooh, nice.
Is what it is.
Because we're getting that Hellboy movie at some point.
Exactly.
Some point.
But any final thoughts on it? Yes, no, maybe so?
No, I'm just excited for it so far.
The thing I can't wait most for this, and I know I'm jumping the gun with it, is how it sets up Godzilla versus Kong, because that is what I am really excited for, to see those two monsters go head to head. This is where you guys come in and let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you like? What do you don't like? What do you want to see from Godzilla, King of the Monsters? Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. Let's move on though, Johnny. The next two, we're not looking at trailers.
No.
We're done with trailers. Like, that was our last trailer that we watched. Let's be honest, we would be watching a trailer for this one
if they had put one out.
Sony had released it. However, from what I hear and from what you have heard also, it looks like the Riot symbiote, or I'm sorry, it's Sony symbiote. Because remember, they said that, not going to let that die.
Yeah, you're not letting that go, are you?
The Riot symbiote, in that the special effects aren't done. I'm thinking it's an Aquaman thing. They just want the special effects to be fine. Aquaman proved me wrong. You know what? We got a trailer this week. Phenomenal trailer. I'm excited for it. Go do you, boo, basically, and get those effects done. But I still wanted to talk Venom trailer because we do have some new things.
Yeah.
It's said that he's going to be fighting the Riot symbiote. People are saying that the Drake character will be the one at the end to get the Riot symbiote and who he's fighting. Yeah. There's other things like the Riot symbiote, or not the Riot symbiote, the Venom symbiote not just talking in his head,
but creating the head on the side.
Exactly. And then the big one of Venom just taking a chomp out of a dude's head.
Yeah.
Just going ham on a dude's head and basically saying, mine.
Hard R.
Biting the head right off of someone. So what I want to ask you is, based off of what we heard about the new footage that they showed at Comic-Con for Venom, I want to ask you this. how good is this Venom movie going to be? Has this moved the needle for you? Are you still worried about it? Or is this like, you know what? I am hyped. The hype meter's at 10 because of what I've been hearing.
I'm hyped. It'll be a little bit easier to grasp like what exactly they're talking about once we get that trailer. I get it. They don't want to release it at the moment because they're trying to fix it. Just like, hey, DC, I got you now. You wanted to fix the Aquaman stuff, and I appreciate that.
And
now.
Marvel's like, we ain't helping you, bro. It's in association with Marvel.
Yes, it's in association with Marvel.
God, when I saw that, I was basically like, that's Marvel saying, if we want out, we can get out, right? If we want out of this, we can get out of this, right? We don't have to stay for the Venom part of things. We got our Spider-Man stuff working over here. But yeah, like you were saying, just get the special effects done. I understand that. What do you think of the Riot symbiote being the main one that he's going to be fighting in the film?
It's an interesting choice, especially no introductions to a lot of them. And a lot of people, like, I had to look into them once we started getting the Venom movie of what all the symbiotes were, because it's like I knew Carnage, I knew Anti-Venom, I knew, oh shit, I forgot most of them already, to be honest.
I'm looking them up. The 5 symbiotes.
Yeah.
Here we go. Comic Vine gonna have my bag, Johnny. I just gotta wait for the internet to load everything. So you've got, let's see, Lether Protector. Come on. Give me him. Not Separation. Hybrid. Yeah, this didn't help me at all. But Rage. Isn't Rage one of them?
Rage is one of them.
You've got...
No.
I think you are right with Screech. But there are 5 of them. Venom, Carnage, Rage, Plague? There's one with a P, I think, as well. But this will be interesting to are they going to do it where it's like, oh, we only have 2 symbiotes? Or is it going to be, hey, some people are saying we'll get it in the post-credit. I'll ask you right off the bat. Are we going to get Carnage at the end of this movie? Will that be... Because the director or other people they asked in the panel was like, well, you are going to see some other comic book villains in this movie, but was kind of very coy with it. Do we get Carnage at the end of this movie, not post-credit, actually in the movie?
I hope we do. Near the end, of for some reason, like... Even if it's post-credit, I would prefer post-credit in a sense, because saving for the next movie then, since you already have your villain picked out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to see him in this movie. By the way, I did find a list real quick.
I found a list of a ton of them.
Venom, Carnage, Toxin, Anti-Venom, Dreadface, Scream, Lasher, Phage, Agony, Riot, Hybrid, Payback, Triple Z, Double X, that's a weird one, Scorn, Mania, Marcus, Carl, Malice, and Agents of the Cosmos.
Yeah, there's a ton of these.
Yeah, and that's just the short list I found in here. There's probably a ton more. It says there's other versions. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, Lether Protector are all Scream, Lasher, Phage, Agony, and Riot.
Okay.
Which, yeah, that's fine. If you guys are going a Lethal Protector route with that, then yes.
Tom Hardy in an interview with Variety did say we are going heavily into Lethal Protector.
Which, and if that's the case, then yeah, use the ones in that list right there. Which I guess if this is the introduction to Venom,
yeah,
you may as well have one of these ones in there since you said, like they said, they're doing Lethal Protector. May as well have one of those, but do throw Carnage in the end there. It would be great to have that because that's like a bigger villain in a sense that you know is against Venom, because it's like more people know who Carnage is.
And the thing I was kind of thinking too is everyone asks about, Spider-Man, how he is going to fit into this. And everyone's kind of tight-lipped about it, where it's Venom is not going to be in association with the MCU stuff.
No.
It's happening on its own. And even Tom Hardy in an interview was like, yeah, I'm kind of selfish about that. Like, I'm glad to have this character that's my own, and I don't have to worry about that. And I love the way he answered the question when they were like, well, do you know anything about stuff like that? And he's like, well, that's above my pay grade. It's not my daddy's tractor, basically. Like, that was the best line of like, I don't own the stuff. My dad doesn't own the thing, so I don't really know what they're talking about here. I'm the wrong person to ask, is basically what I got from that. I'll ask you this, because this is something that I've been thinking of maybe they're going to do because of the arrangement with MCU and with Spider-Man. Does this Venom thing just become, hey, we're not going to have Spider-Man in here. This is going to be, when we tell the Venom movies, it's Venom stories based on Venom. Yeah, Spider-Man may be one 5 years down the line, but he doesn't have to be in one. Like, it could be movie 2 for Venom, if it does well, could be Venom v. Carnage.
Yeah. That would be a good route to go, because you don't want to be reliant on that, especially if your Venom movies are doing well. You want to, like, okay, we'll keep it separated. Like, maybe...
Gotta keep it separated.
Hints that, oh, Spider-Man's in this universe, obviously, but we don't need to have him in here in order to have these movies.
What about the... I know this is rated R. Were you expecting Venom just bites the head off a guy?
Not necessarily.
I don't know why, but I was kind of surprised with that.
I wasn't necessarily expecting that. I was expecting rated R for, like,
I didn't think they'd put it in there.
Harsh violence.
I can't wait to see it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm squeaming.
Just like we've been waiting forever for Logan to go.
Well, that just makes me think, if they do a Carnage, if you're already having Venom bite the head off a guy,
how much more graphic are you going to get?
How much more graphic is Carnage going to be? Because Carnage is supposed to be way more graphic than Venom.
Yeah, exactly. So
because, like, they've even said, you can see Eddie Brock making weapons a la Carnage style. That just makes me think, well, if you're raising it this high up with Venom, how are you going to break that glass ceiling with Carnage?
Ooh, unless that's like a one-time thing, and Eddie Brock says, no, never again.
We don't do that. Kind of like how he was like, hey, but we only hurt bad people.
Yeah. And maybe, like, he says, okay, no more making the weapons, no more biting the heads off of people.
Maybe this is also an argument we see when
the head cops.
Head v. head, not in the head. You know what I'm saying?
It could be that, and then, like, all of a sudden, just later on, like, that could lead into the Carnage thing, like, that little part of the symbiote breaks off, and that's the one that still remembers doing those two things in particular.
And then it finds Cassidy. And that's how we get the...
And Cassidy's all for that. He's like, let's do it.
Well, he's fucked up altogether.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He goes...
Like, he's a psychotic murderer.
He, like, the symbiote, at first, like, maybe, like, it wants to go bite the head off someone, and Heston is like, no, go ahead, man.
Yeah. Like, go ahead, I ain't gonna stop you.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Yeah. And then he makes all these, like... And that's something, too, is maybe, like, Cassidy's mind helps with the weapons of, like, kind of... Green Lantern style. Yeah. Whatever you can imagine, you could make now.
Yeah, it's like, or the symbiote, like, sort of starts to form something and then stops. Like, what are you doing? Let's make this weapon.
Yeah. And then he just makes one that's even more fucked up than the symbiote.
Yeah, maybe like symbiote was just like simple sword, and he goes, let's do an axe, man.
Yeah, and then that's where you get, then that's where we get the classic Carnage axe.
Yeah.
Would it be an axe, or would it be like that cleave that we get? Like, because the classic Carnage cleave, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, usually the one that's like a pendulum and it just swings.
Yeah.
It's got the little crescent.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, or that one. That one would be good too.
Where it's just like, and then boom, he just cuts a guy in half with it. This movie, I still don't know. Like, I think I'm more reserved for this movie now than I am the DC movies. I know it's probably because I've gotten to see trailers for the other ones, and I haven't seen a trailer for this since we weren't at Comic-Con. But, like, for me, I feel like Spider-Man's in good hands because he's in the MCU. Sony, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my worry, is because, like, the Into the Spider-Verse, I'm not worried about that because it's animated. It's, like, it's easy to do a good animated movie for me. But once you do that live action, I already know what I've gotten from you. And it's just one of those things where it's like, if this flops, where do you go from here?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if it flops, do you start thinking about handing more of it over to Marvel to play with?
Yes. If Venom flops, I make more deals with Marvel because that's how I'm going to make my money.
We have more characters for you to play with.
Exactly.
Just let us do the same deals with those. just add it on to the Spider-Man contract.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would do.
I would do, and that would probably be the better business sense because they're making the money from all the money from the movies.
Yeah.
That's what's going on, and Marvel's just making it from the franchising.
And I mean, that would be if Venom flops, is I would do that because it's how are you going to make the money off of this character? And if you're spending all this effort to make this Spider-Verse, how is that going to happen if Venom flops?
Exactly. It's kind of
and I'm not saying Venom is going to flop, by the way.
No,
I'm
because
just
I
asking
mean,
the what
we may like the hype we had when the first one came out may reinstall itself once we get the new trailer.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't wait.
Reinstate something like that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, but also in the back of my mind, it's like, what if this does fail? What do you do from there? Because I'm trying to think, like, there are so many characters that they can use just from the Spider-Verse in general. But I don't know if Marvel will be like, yeah, we want all that. I think Marvel right now, because even the interview from Spider-Man Homecoming, there was a video I was watching where the guy was talking about it, and he goes, while the Amy Pascal is talking, you see like Kevin Feige like make faces, and he's looking around, and the guy goes, if you want to see Kevin Feige triggered, that's Kevin Feige triggered right there. Like it was like nope, shut up. What are you doing? Shut up. We're giving too much away kind of a thing where you could tell sitting there Kevin Feige was not very comfortable sitting there during that interview. I'll ask you this. Anything with the Venom thing you think we didn't hit that we should hit?
No, I think we hit a lot with that. I'm intrigued to finally see it, and maybe it'll bring back the hype we had, like I said, with the first one.
And when a trailer does come out, we are going to talk about it. We are going to react to it.
Yep.
We're going to do everything with that trailer because we cannot wait for it. The last one we had was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was.
It was a really long time ago. I think the first time we ever talked about the Venom movie was a year ago or a little over a year ago. When that was
talked about
Tom Hardy's going to play Venom.
Yeah.
And now it's already getting ready to become a movie. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What do you think about this Venom news? Are you excited for Venom? Are you excited for the trailer? Have your thoughts really changed? Kind of like what I asked Johnny. Has this news moved the needle which way of will this be a good or bad movie? Let me know and let Johnny know what you think down below in that comment section. But Johnny, let's close up shop here on the podcast. What we're going to do. There were so many things that we have not gotten to. So just kind of here at the end, just want to give our final thoughts. Anything we want to talk about that we're excited about that we want to hit before we wrap up shop. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
What is something we have not talked about on this podcast from Comic-Con that you're like, dude, we got to go see this. Dude, you guys got to check this out. This was awesome.
Glass.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Glass
I knew it.
Looked amazing. And I know, shame on me. I haven't seen... Now I have to go. I haven't seen Split. And...
From 2000.
Jesus, that one.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. So I have to see Unbreakable, and I have to see Split. And hey, surprise, surprise, I haven't seen Unbreakable, right?
Yeah, Unbreakable.
I haven't seen Unbreakable
from November
because
22nd
I was 10.
of 2000.
Because I was 10. And my parents most likely would not have let me see that.
I mean, it had Bruce Willis.
Okay, that doesn't mean my parents are going to let me see it.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
So, yeah. So, there's a reason I didn't go and see that one. Since then, just kind of faltered out of remembering it. But Glass looks amazing. So, it's like all three of them. It
looks interesting, I'll say.
That, too. I think it looks great. I can't wait to see it. Just because it's almost like, in a sense, it's like a superhero group movie. Like, okay, we're bringing a team together.
Yeah.
But this one is interesting because
the way I've heard it described is it's kind of like the anti-MCU. It's the reverse of the MCU.
Yeah.
Where it's like the MCU, hey, we're bringing all these good heroes together. This one's like, hey, we're here in a mental hospital, and I work with people who think they're superheroes.
Yeah, well, not just that, too. It's almost seems like it's going to be a superhero movie, like doing things that people can't normally do. Like
Bruce Willis's character seems like the superhero type.
Yeah.
And feels like I shouldn't be here.
Superhero archetype even, like in demeanor. Like he's trying to do good to help people. He's a protector.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got James McAvoy.
Yeah.
His character from
Split.
Split, thank you. I don't know why I couldn't think of the movie all of a sudden. Where he had multiple personalities, and the one you have
his character also kidnaps girls.
Yeah, he does. But his over his what I'm trying to put this. The one you want to watch out for, what he calls the Beast. Which is the superhero-ish part of him, or the I would say it's more of an anti-hero.
Yeah, it's more of a Venom-ish.
Yeah, it's more like a Venom. A very good analogy for that. And then you have Mr. Glass. First name Mr., last name Glass.
Well, because the interesting thing
broke
too
98 bones in my body.
With Glass, he even says like it's how do I want to put this? When him and McAvoy's character meet, and he goes something like, "This is about like, this is kind of like what it feels like when the villains team up." And he goes, "I want to meet this beast," and like that's the one he's interested in because it's like that's the one that can help me.
Yeah, that's the one that can do things for me. And that's the cool part too. Is like, I'll hope for your sake. I hope he likes you. It's like, so wait, the beast can. If
the beast doesn't like you, just snap. You're dead.
Yeah, but that's the thought. Like now, it's like, so there's consciousness of the beast. It's not just a ravenous killing monster. Like he's actually.
It kind of reminds me of Hulk.
Cognitive, yeah.
Where everyone at the beginning thought, "Hey, Hulk is just
Hulk just smash.
Hulk smashes," but no, there's a and when he runs, because I'm watching the trailer right now.
Yeah.
When he runs as Beast. It reminds me of Beast from X-Men.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it reminds me of. Because he's running on all fours like Beast would. Except he's not blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Like, this is one that I was like, I didn't think I'd be excited for.
I'm excited
until
for
I
it.
saw the trailer, and I'm like you. I got to go see it. Because when Split came out, I was like, I'm not into the horror movie stuff. I'm not going to go see it. Unbreakable, like you said, we were 10 at the time. So it was like, you know what? I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to think. Like, I've heard about Glass, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm really going to think about Glass.
I heard about Mr. Glass before, and I'm not like, I don't 100% know the storyline other than his body breaks easily. So I'm not sure what to expect, like, as a having a mindset of an idea about the character beforehand.
Yeah.
But this looks really good, and I'm excited to see it.
And one thing I know I do want to dive into in a future podcast after both you and I have caught up with Unbreakable and Split.
Yeah.
Is there's a theory right now about Glass that Bruce Willis's character can cure James McAvoy's character.
Interesting.
And I don't want to I'm bringing it up now so that you guys watching can kind of rewatch the movies and come up with your thoughts for when me and you talk about it. But that is what the theory is right now, that one can help cure the other.
Interesting.
I'm going to give a different thing I'm excited for. The Flash Season 5 trailer. I saw this thing, Johnny. I cannot wait for it. We finally find out that Nora Allen, like what she really is, like not exactly why she's here, but we find out more about her. We find out like a little bit of, she's probably really attached to Barry because he dies in the future. And the thing I can't wait for is how we find out. So we know we're speculating that she's really attached to Barry because he probably dies. That's that infinite crisis that we got all the way in episode 1 with the newspaper clipping. The interesting thing, though, is she is very distant from Iris, or doesn't really, you can tell she doesn't really like Iris.
Interesting.
I want to know why.
Yeah.
Because that's her mother. I want to know why that happens. Plus, I'm watching this trailer, and yeah, we get the villain, which is going to be cool. Had the little lightning bolt blade that was down there. But the coolest thing from this trailer is Barry's like, oh, I don't have a costume. What's going on? And Nora goes, oh, don't worry. I've got one right here. It's a fan favorite. And she hands him the flash ring, and you just see him put out his arm like this. and he's got the Flash ring on. So we are finally getting the Flash ring that we've seen in the Flashpoint comic book, and we've seen the Flash use so many times. Then not just that, at the end of that Flash trailer, we found out that in December, they are going to do a crossover event with the CW shows with Batwoman, who they're going to come out with. They're making their own CW Batwoman series. We knew the Batwoman series before this, but now we find out that in December, there will be a crossover event, and Batwoman, who they have not casted yet, by the way. So basically, they're saying, hey, we're coming out with this crossover series. Batwoman's going to be a part of it to kind of jumpstart that series that is going to come out later this year. The other CWs, the only one I haven't seen right now is Arrow. I've heard that one's really good. I watched the Supergirl one, and I think the villain that they're going at is, I think his name's like Manchester something. But basically it's the whole point of, we don't need these supers here. They only ruin this world. Humans got to stand up against them, kind of a thing.
Sort of a Lex Luthor-y type thing, to some degree.
I watched the trailer and I was like, whatever, not my style. I'm going to go back to the Flash, kind of a thing. But that was just something not as in-depth as Glass, because Glass has a lot of levels to it.
Yeah, it does.
But I saw that.
No,
and I was very excited.
And I mean, I know I need to catch up, so that's on me because I just haven't had the time to keep going.
I'm still in the process of catching up, but I'm catching up, but I already know what happens. Like that's the bad thing about my end, because it's like I already know what happens. I already know what's spoiled, but I'm still catching up. The Flash ring looks so cool. It looks so cool with the red and the gold. I want to ask you about this next one.
Okay.
Disenchantment, the series from Matt Groening, if I'm saying that right, Simpsons. Basically, hey, we took you to modern day with The Simpsons. We took you to the future with Futurama. Now we're going back to the past, medieval style. Disenchantment. Got our first full trailer for that one. I showed it to you before we walked in today.
It's hilarious.
What are your thoughts on Disenchantment?
Looks freaking hilarious. Very Futurama-esque.
Voices, some of them are recycled.
Yeah,
from
they
Futurama,
are.
Which I don't care.
No, I don't mind. I'm fine with that.
That does not do any bad things for me, but I love this already, and I'm going to watch it on Netflix because the little character, can't remember his name, the one that kind of looks like Bart Simpson.
Elfo or something?
Yeah. Basically, that's them making fun of Olaf.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's them making fun of Olaf 110%.
Little demon thing. I want to remove all the plagues and diseases from the world and fill it with worse, newer ones.
He's going to be my favorite character.
It was great.
He is going to be my favorite one. And also, it kind of like the main character, the princess.
Yeah.
She kind of gives me a Leela vibe. Is that just me?
Leela mixed with someone else I'm trying to figure out.
Lisa? Is it like a Lisa Leela libe?
No, I'm definitely.
I said libe because it was LL, and then I was looking for L.
Leela, and I don't know. I want to see
Amy, not Amy.
Not Amy. Almost like there's a little hint of Homer in there with the drinking problem, or Bender.
Okay,
Leela Bender because of the drinking obnoxiousness.
Yeah, I just love the part where like. Oh, what I'm thinking? I'm trying to think where she's like, oh, everyone finds their path. And it's basically oh man, I'm a pretty good butcher. This is a pet shop. Hi, I'm Droning. Hi, I'm Alfie. This was something I saw and I'm like, I am going to watch the crap out of this.
Oh, hell yeah.
When it comes to Netflix. Anything else from Comic-Con that you think we should look at?
No, that's really all I can remember off the top
Johnny's
of my head.
like, I just want to talk about Glass, Ricky. And I talked about Glass.
And I was going to bring up Disenchantment too since you showed me it, but you got to it first. The one thing I would like to point out, it was an interesting little fact that I told you about before. So they always have new things coming out at San Diego Comic-Con. Yes. It's one of the biggest things of the year when it comes to the nerd fan culture. And, well, yeah, one of the biggest ones. Or the biggest one. I don't know. You decide. You decide. Everyone decide.
You're talking about Comic-Con? This is the biggest
San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, I'm just talking about nerd culture in general. And I mean, there's other big things out there, but that's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
So, pop figurines, Funko Pop figurines, one of the biggest things at the time, or one of the biggest fads at the time right now. I collect them. You got a few.
You call it a fad like it's going to die out soon.
I didn't say soon.
No, I mean like eventually, like because it's been going for a while.
I didn't say fans can go for a very long time.
Do you think Funko will ever die out?
I think eventually the popularity in like 10, 15 years will slowly start to falter.
Are they the next Beanie Babies?
They are Beanie Babies right now.
Okay.
Basically. So like right now, it took like what? 15 years for Beanie Babies to finally go, okay, it's not as big anymore. Funko eventually, no, people are still collecting it. I'm collecting Marvel right now. I have probably 30 Marvel characters.
Remember?
You have what, 2 or 3 of them?
I have 6 right now.
Oh, you have 6?
I have 6 and the full Power Ranger set.
Okay.
So I have the 5 Power Rangers plus...
You have 11.
Wait, no. let me think. 5 Power Rangers plus green plus yellow, 2 Batman, Sora.
Yeah, I was going to say you have Sora. Because I remember getting you that one.
Vulture and Spider-Man. So what, 12?
Yeah.
I have 11 or 12 of them now.
And I mean, and they come out with more and more of them, which is why I say I give it like 15 years before it starts to die down, because they hit every fandom out there. There's Scooby-Doo, there's wrestling, there's sports, there's every show that comes on TV.
Remember
they have one for.
Remember the bullshit with Beanie Babies? Were like, don't pull the tag off; they're going to be worth $1 million someday, and they weren't.
No. Well, some of them are worth
some of them, but like most of them,
high.
You look on eBay, and it's like 50 cents.
Yeah, trying to get rid of it.
Technically, they were around from 1993 to 1990, then 2000 to present, it says. But I don't know who's buying Beanie Babies anymore.
Not very much. I mean, it's the collectors now that are trying to get them.
I have not heard many people trying to buy Beanie Babies.
No. But, I mean, from what I was reading, it's like... For the San Diego Comic-Con.
You're talking about the ticket thing you told me about.
Yeah, I was. What I was going to say, I just thought it was interesting. Overall, the to get in line for the pop figurine stand, because they have all the new San Diego exclusive ones.
Yeah.
Like 2 months in advance, you have to buy the tickets to get that. Wow. And I feel like...
Just to stand in line
Just to stand in line to go look at the pop figurines.
It's exactly what Family Guy or The Simpsons made fun of hey, let's buy a ticket to stand in line.
I love that ride. I don't know about you, but that's my favorite. One of the best lines
ever, just standing in line to stand in line.
Yeah, it's my favorite ride.
I got one more I'm going to throw out.
Yeah, do it.
And this one, I have not watched the trailer all the way through, but I'm going to throw it out there because someone's like, oh my God, how can you not have thrown this out there? We did get a new Fantastic Beasts trailer.
Oh, that's true.
And probably one of the coolest things from that was Johnny Depp coming out in the Grindelwald character and reciting a speech or something in front of everyone in Hall H. Like, that was awesome. That was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Johnny Depp coming out in character for that. But that's another trailer. I know we didn't react to it, but like, I saw that one.
We had a lot to react to anyways.
Not just that, Johnny, but if there's anything I would like to see, it's if we're going to react to a Fantastic Beasts trailer, we got to pull in a ringer and get Brandon Swanson in here. Because Brandon Swanson is the big... I'm going to say, you know what? People from MVP, like Sean, Dave, Mark, who watch this, you guys can fight me if I'm wrong, but I believe Brandon is the biggest Harry Potter fan at MVP. I know he's a bigger Harry Potter fan than both you and I.
Yeah, no, definitely
The only one I don't know is if him or Mark are the bigger Harry Potter fans. I think Brandon, though, might have Mark beat. I think Mark's wife is the bigger Harry Potter fan in general, but she's not a part of MVP, obviously. It would be Brandon in that sense. Anything that I missed before we end this thing?
No, I think we hit a lot of it. I mean, yeah, there's probably things you guys let us know if there's anything we missed.
Podcast, 7 segments.
We would love to know if there's something that we missed that you guys noticed from San Diego Comic-Con, because I've yet to go back and watch I know I think it's like Sci-Fi or G4 basically recaps the whole weekend.
Yeah, Sci-Fi.
Or they actually during the weekend they show the whole weekend.
Yep.
And I need to recap that stuff.
Sci-Fi was doing it during
Sci-Fi does it.
Iron Man was on yesterday.
Okay.
And they were.
I didn't remember who does it, but someone does it on TV. So. Let us know if we missed something.
This is probably my favorite weekend. One of my favorite. This is E3.
Yeah.
Are my 2 favorite nerd weekends of the entire year. But this is where you guys come in. Like Johnny said, let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. A little bit of housekeeping here at the end. First off, if you want to help support us, make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluable podcast. That link can be found down below in the description. Make sure to also check out our store where you can get an MVP t-shirt. You can also find that store at mostvaluablepodcast.com where you can catch MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you're on iTunes, make sure to go ahead and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating and let us know why you like listening to the podcast each and every week. I want to thank you guys for watching on YouTube. I want to thank you guys for listening to the very long podcast on podcast services around the world. But as always, have a good day, everybody.